Good morning. Good morning. Oh, how are you guys doing this morning? Hey, April. Hey, Leah. Hey, Donna. We are going to be making a volunteer block. Why does my camera so dark? I just don't know why that is. Let me see something. I just feel like my camera is so dark, you guys. Anyways, if you are here, I would love hey Flea, how are you doing this morning? How does the video look to you? Does it look like dark? Maybe my light is not let me see something. Okay, maybe that'll help a little bit. I don't know. It could be just me. Hello, hello, how are you guys? It looks darker than usual, right? I don't know what is going on. I have my light right here. I don't know what. I wonder if I switch my cameras. It looks really dark. I'm so sad, you guys. I don't know what's going on with my camera and why. I'm like literally sitting in front of a window. I have a light, plus I have my overhead lights on. So I don't know why it looks so dark, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing today. And I will have to deal with it in post and see if I can brighten it up later. Um, I wonder if I should switch my cameras out because the camera facing me looks really good. You guys, can you guys give me a few minutes? I'm just gonna switch my cameras if that's okay. Give me like 2 seconds, promise. I'll be right back. Oh wow, now it's not working at all. Okay, that's a little better. I don't know. That actually is quite a bit better. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. And now my camera isn't gonna work. Oh, because I have it turned off. Crazy girl. Okay, so that's a little bit better. I don't know. We're going to move forward though, and I will deal with the tech later. Now I have cords everywhere because I moved everything around. Oh, you know what? I'll put this up here. And that way it'll be out of the way. Where is this coming from? I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I've been doing this for 7 years, 8 years. Um, and I'm still a mess. I'm still a mess. Okay. But I digress. Today, I'm excited, you guys. We're going to make an art block today, and we're going to focus on Valentine's Day. So, the surface I'm starting on is 4x7. Let me put you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. This is a I think it's a 4x7. I'm pretty sure. And it's just a wood block. I got this one from Amazon. And I've taken the liberty of painting this one already. So the top is painted white so we can decoupage. And then the sides, I painted red because I do want to use some gold. And I do think when you paint red under your gold, it looks prettier. Honestly, I read that in an article like years ago, probably 15 years ago. There used to be a Pottery Barn finish where you use a gold paint, and the writer of the blog, yeah, I was reading a blog, so I don't know, it's a long time ago, was saying that when you paint a really blue red underneath gold, it makes the gold actually more pretty. Um, my stereo. Oh my gosh, you guys. I remember in college we had like one of those. I remember those stereos. You had like your double cassette player on there, and you could tune into the radio. Were there CDs yet? I do not think there were CDs yet. So it was just a cassette player. I was very happy with that. So I was excited because it was a double cassette. But I have already done quite a bit. So if you're new, my name is Royce Bell, and I'm the founder, owner, and operator of Recycled Treasures. At Recycled Treasures, we empower creation through quality craft supplies, through education or instruction, encouragement, and inspiration. And so we want you guys to create, whether it's for your heart, whether it's for your home, or even for your business. And so we're here for all things. So today I've done a lot of prep. And I apologize if you're brand new. You can ask questions and I'll answer them afterwards. But in order for us to get done with this project, I had to. So I use some molds to make my wings here, and I just use air dry clay to make these. And can you guys see them? You guys can see them, right? You see those wings? And I also made, I used a different mold to make this little frame right here. And I have a little heart. We're going to stack that right on top of the frame. And then I have like a little plaque that we're going to put on the bottom. So that's how we're going to build it out. But before we can put our stuff on there, we are going to decoupage this, which I got to get rid of this red paint. I hate to do that. I'm going to go ahead and paint this heart really quickly. This is the red left over from the edge. But I don't want to get paint on my paper. So I'm just going to paint this heart really quickly. This is not going to be the final red. I'm going to go over this with a brighter red, but this will be a nice base coat. So I don't have to waste all this paint because I don't have anything else that I'm going to paint red. It's not a ton of paint though. You guys know what I realized when you're crafting? It doesn't take a ton, right? Clean up some of that mess. And so for today, we're going to be using some molds. And I have several recycled decoupage paper that I pulled out. And I'm going to make a decision now because I couldn't decide earlier. And I think it's because I didn't have everything done. So I am going to decide right now. Let's get this cleaned up. This is, you guys already heard about my mat and how much I love it. What do you guys think about yesterday's painting your paper before decoupaging it? I was kind of excited that it worked. I legitimately didn't know if it was going to. I mean, I thought it would, but I didn't know for sure because I hadn't done it before. So I feel like I want to experiment with that process a little bit more. But that was a nice experiment yesterday. So, okay, that looks bad, doesn't it? I'm gonna throw that away somewhere where the police can't find it. No, I'm kidding. I did get a little red on there, but it's not gonna matter because we're gonna cover that up. Okay, so I have 3 recycled decoupage papers, and these are from my personal stash, y'all. So they look ragged, so don't judge me. But I pulled them out of my little box over there. Because what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of decoupage in this frame. And I know that on the recycled topography love, like one of the things I love about this paper is that you do have different scales. Like this script is pretty big. And then you come down here and this script is really tiny, right? And this script is kind of medium size. And then you have this large print here. Um, and then you have some smaller print over here. So you have different scales of printing and different weights. So some are more bold than others. And I think it's one of the reasons why I love this so much is because I do have options. And so I could use a music sheet on the back of here. That would be pretty, but I kind of feel like I need something with a little bit more weight to be on the big part and then use something tiny and scripty on this right here is what I'm thinking. So I have, of course, my recycled topography love because you guys know I love it. And then this is a scripted decoupage paper, which this is huge. This is probably 2. I was contemplating using like a really large scale, but I think that's going to be too big. So I'm not going to use that one. And then my third option was actually this one. This is called Romantic Blocks. And I literally made this one as an option for Valentine's Day years ago. And it has blocks of topography. And to me, all things romantic, not all things. So it's one of those designs that are kind of Valentine's Day, but not strictly Valentine's Day. And so like this would look nice. My only thing is that it's already warm. That script would look really nice on there, isn't it? I think that would look really nice. But then my square, I kind of want to look at everything together though. When I'm looking at my scale that I'm going to be working with. And I kind of like that. I like that this is larger and then you have like the smaller, more scripty kind of stuff as well. My only beef with this, my only beef, is that it's warm, which means I'm going to have to use, well, I have this little piece right here that has like smaller scripts, and I can use this inside of my frame. So let's use this. We're going to use this one. Just because I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. Right? Like this little script right here, even though in my mind I envisioned it being more type, like not scripty, but I think that that reads as romantic when you have it all scripty like that. It's like a love letter. So I'm going to go ahead and run my finger along this block, and I'm going to make a decision before I question myself again. And then, you know what? We're going to do something today we haven't done together. And that is, see this little stamp right here, or this little like medallion? I want this on my paper. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to add it, even though it's not on there right now. And why am I crickety? Even though it's not on there right now, I'm going to add it. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that. And it's one of the benefits of working with tissue paper is that you have the option of doing what I'm going to show you guys. And I keep going back and forth because I want this to be lovely and like Valentine's Day, but I also want to grunge it up at the same time. So we're going to see what happens. I know I want to use some fine line crackle um, on this. So I'm going to have to be thoughtful about how I stack my layers today. And I don't know, I'm going to cut out this. It's like a wax seal. I might want to add that. And I'm going to lay this aside. And I'm also going to cut out this little stamp thingy. And I'm going to lay that aside. And then this piece right here is the piece that we're probably going to use on the frame, the little small frame. So I'm going to cut that out as well. And now I still have all of these blocks, right, that I can use for other projects. And I've done several mixed media pieces with her face too. Okay. So let's start with the decoupage. And I was going to grunge underneath here, but I have too many unanswered questions in my head right now. I'm going to drive myself crazy. Let's do a little bit of grunge, even though I need a new topper and I don't know where my chingaderas are. I mean, my things are. Ooh, see, David isn't here to correct me, you guys. I'm going to go ahead. I got to do it. I'm just going to grunge up my edges a little bit and put a little halo on the back of my paper. It's going to be more subtle because it's going to be under the paper, right? And then, oh wow, where's my little janky brush? I'm going to take this and just kind of spread that out some. And I made swirly marks. See, I need a new pad on my thing because I did not mean to make little swirly marks on there. I wonder if my laptop is what's casting a shadow. My laptop is responsible for the shadow. What happened? Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I think I figured out what's going on. Give me a second. Still not much better. I don't know what's going on. I thought maybe my laptop was casting a shadow on my table. I digress. So I'm gonna do my little I don't know why it's so dark. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I know. I disappeared for a second. I'm sorry. I was trying to see if the laptop is what was casting a shadow on my table. Okay. So I have that. So we're going to go ahead and decoupage. We're going to start there. So this is from the Romantic Blocks decoupage paper. And this is just one little piece that we're using. Let me trim that extra paper off the bottom. I could use this on the frame too, huh? I kind of like the idea of having different fonts though. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think I'm going to use this one. Okay. So I'm going to mist my paper. And today I'm just going to go ahead and use varnish. This is the water-based varnish that I'm using to decoupage. I'm using it to both adhere and to seal my paper. And so I'm going to mist my paper. And I'm going to let that paper start relaxing while we're putting our decoupage medium on. And this is going to be a lot faster because this is a really small piece, right? Make sure I'm all right before I adhere that. And you guys know the lighter that the paper is, the more of your underpainting shows up. So you guys can see really clearly that grunge that I did underneath the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and mist this so it can relax while I'm putting the medium on my piece. And I'm drinking breakfast this morning, you guys. I have coffee, but it does have protein powder in it. So that counts, right? So put that on there. I think tomorrow I'm going to use my camera for my second camera. I mean, my phone for my second camera and see if we can get a better picture. I feel like that's already Butamus, right? Just like that. How pretty is that? That script is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day. I always think of like a love letter, right? So I'm going to set that aside. We're going to let that dry out because we need to work on our other components. I know that I should probably make these wings like gold or beautiful or something. We're going to use gold, but I'm going to make these grungy. And I think that I'm going to grunge this up too, but then we'll dry brush some gold over the top of that. I'm trying to decide, do we want to use milk paint again today or do we want to use chalk style paint? I think that I don't know. So my clay, you guys, I made these castings last night and I put them in. I have like a tabletop food dehydrator. I bought it to dehydrate my lemons, but no food has been in that dehydrator. I use it to dry my clay quickly, and I'm more likely to get my clay to flatten out as well. So I put it in there, but then I took it out and I set it on my island so that my pieces are dry enough for me to handle, but there's still moisture in there. And I don't know how the milk paint will react to that. So I think I'm going to use the chalk style paint. And I'm not saying that it would react poorly. I just don't know because I'm actually new to milk paint. So we'll just use some chalk style paint. And I want to make these look rusty. So we're going to do like a little rusty patina on these that I'm not prepared for because I didn't pull my paints out. I am so fired today. Look, I'm fired. I've already fired myself twice, and we've only been here for a few minutes. I'm gonna need a black. Ooh, maybe we should do copper instead of gold. Where is my rusty color? I'm gonna need some rust. And I'll use this one for an orangey color. And I have a little bit of brown too. Okay. Let's make a. So I'm going to do a base coat of black on all of these. And look, this poor brush has seen better days, so it's perfect for this operation. And I'm going to stipple the color on for two reasons. I want to put a little bit of texture on here. And also, I have a lot of texture, like this wings. You should see the amount of detail. There's feathers, and we'll be able to see them once we're done. It's hard to see all the details when it's white. So I want to make sure I push paint into all the crevasses of this piece. And y'all pray for me that we're able to finish this block in time today. I think I may have tried to do too much. Surprise, surprise. So I was up until about, I think I went to bed about 2 o'clock because I had to prep for this. And then I also had to prep for my membership. We meet tonight and we are exploring our gel plate. And tonight we're going to be playing with creating different textures on our plate. And I haven't decided, it depends on how much time I have, whether or not I have time to make you guys a handout on different papers and like the pluses and minuses of the different papers. I mean, I'm gonna make it. I just don't know if it'll be tonight or for next week. Okay. I think they're pretty already. For my, do I want? I'll do this, Rusty. I just need to make a decision. I'm driving myself crazy. You guys know that's bad, right? When you drive yourself crazy. But I'm not gonna put a ton of texture on this though. And I think I kind of, well, do I want white peeking through though? I do not. So this base coat can peek through though. I'm gonna do something a little bit different with this. I think I'll just paint this white, maybe. We'll see. My problem when I create, you guys, is that my brain is churning the entire time. So sometimes it's hard to settle on an idea when my brain is consistently considering all the options. And it is both a blessing and a curse. Okay, we're gonna do that one smooth instead of, I might do the edges, a little texture around the edges, but we'll leave that middle part smooth there. Okay, so that's my base coat is the black. I am gonna go in with my dryer and I'm going to dry it before I go in with my next color. And I'm not gonna close that all the way because I'm probably gonna come back. I find that when I'm making like patinas, I go a little back and forth, you know what I mean? Between the colors. And then I think it'll be a nice juxtaposition if, oh man, I should have painted the edge of this red before I got rid of my red. And I have a little white peeking through, so I don't think I need to worry about it though. I'll have enough different layers that it'll be hidden. You guys know how you paint something and you think you have full coverage, and then when you go to use it, it's like it's not full coverage. It's because the paint shrinks as it dries. And so you probably had full coverage when it was wet, but then as the paint dries and it shrinks, it can leave areas that aren't covered. So even when you have a paint that gives you really good coverage, you probably need to still do two coats. And if you're new here to the recycled quick crafts, I am not monitoring the comments closely because I want to stay focused, you guys, and get through a project from start to finish. There's supposed to be quick crafts, like 20 to 30 minutes, but I've only managed to do one of those, so they're a little bit longer. Um, but we do finish from start to finish. So that's our goal, which if you join me live on Sunday nights, you know that that is not always the case. And if you are looking for Roycycle decoupage papers, you can find them at roycycle.com, whether you're looking to buy paper direct or looking for a retailer in your area for you to buy from. I always say that even if you don't have anyone who lives like specifically in your community, look for the retailer who's closest to you because chances are they can offer you better shipping rates than I can. I mean, unless you live like in Arizona, but there are retailers in Arizona too. So there still may be someone closer to you than I am. I think I want my trim on this one to be gold. I'm gonna drive myself crazy because I'm gonna want to paint that trim red now. So that's pretty dry. So let's go in with, I have a color that's the color of rust, but it's kind of dull. So we're gonna start with this and we're gonna follow up with another color as well. And let me find a smaller brush. A brush that I don't mind messing up though. Okay. So you see what I mean? Like this color is kind of rusty, but it's not like wholly rusty. So I think I'm gonna just, and I'm gonna end up going back in with the black, which is fine, I always do. And if you guys are interested in learning how to make like patina finishes or rustic finishes like these, I do have a class. Excuse me. It's a texture master class. When I started building the class, it was supposed to just show you how to make a patina or different patinas, but it ended up being a bit of a master class because we went over so many things. So if you're someone who really likes like rusty patina and you like those finishes, um, consider taking my class. The videos are not super long. It's edited, and there is a workbook that goes along with it too. So, and I'm gonna go just, this square brush is driving me a little crazy on this flat surface, but I think if we do like that, that'll be better. And I'm kind of keeping all my paints a little open because I know there's going to be a little bit of back and forth between these colors. Dorothy, do I not have rivets listed on there? I'll be in the warehouse later, so I'll take a look and see what my inventory looks like, because I know I have some on the wholesale side, but I'm not sure about the retail side. So I'll take a look. We are in the warehouse this week, you guys, because we are getting ready for the launch of our new designs. We'll be showing the designs, and I'll be creating with them on Sunday night. We have our Cooking and Crafting with Royce and David every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'll be showing you guys the new designs and we'll be creating with them. Although my Roycycle besties have already seen all the new designs, they get to see everything first. Lord have mercy for Jesus. And I don't have my so one of the things that I do for myself, you guys, because I have problems opening things, is I have an opener like the kind that you would have in your kitchen. And I usually have it out here, but I think I took it in the kitchen because I lost my other one. And I'm having a hard time getting this paint open. And it could be the paint and it could be me. Oh, today it's having a really good day. But I feel like ever since I started setting up for this live, like, is the universe trying to tell me something? Are you guys tired of seeing me? Is that what it is? Maybe the universe is trying to talk for you guys. Actually, when I decided to go live every day in January, it felt like it was going to be a really long time, but like legitimately, we're already 2/3 of our way through. So I am so sad. I need this color. You know what? It's okay. I'm going to mix my own orange. That is what I'm going to do because I cannot get that open. So we'll just mix our own color. It'll be fine. Everything is fine. And when it's not fine, it's still fine. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in this because I need to paint my frame anyways. When you're mixing colors, you have to be so careful with your darker color because it impacts your color, like the lighter color, so much more than you ever imagine. And so, like, I'm trying to be really nice with this blue because I don't want to squirt out a lot because I know I'm only going to need a tiny bit of that. And that's probably too much, but I might as well go ahead and paint my frame really quickly. And then we'll make our orange color that we need. And I'm putting a little blue in there just because that red like that is just too bright. So just a little bit of blue um, deepens it. I remember as a young woman, I would never wear red lipstick because I just felt like it never looked good on me. But the problem wasn't that it was red. It was just the wrong red. And so you can add a little bit of blue into your red, and it really does make it just gorgeous. I'm gonna paint this gold later, and I want to have a red underpainting. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and do this now while we have this out. And you saw how much blue I used, barely any at all. And it really shifted that color right away. If you guys want to learn how to mix your own colors, um, I do have a class called Crafting in Colors where we talk about how colors work. Because sometimes you get a result and it's not what you thought it was going to be. And it's not because the universe is crazy. It's just because there may be information that you just didn't have. Like if you ever tried to add black to yellow, and you're probably puzzled because you got green. There's a reason for that. Um, so if you're interested in being able to mix your own colors on the fly, crafting in color is a really good course for that. And I need to do another color course because it's kind of like a beginner course. I didn't do like all encompassing because People keep telling me that I overwhelm them. I get so excited about information because I'm a nerd, and sometimes I just do a little bit too much. So I need to do like a 102 to that class because there is more. But if you take that class, you will be able to mix your own colors on the fly. And you probably won't see colors the same after it either. Okay. Now I can make my orange. And I actually made, I just put a little bit of red in there too, since I have it on my brush. The thing about rust is that it's made up of a lot of different colors. So even if you have a paint that's like a rust color, to me, if you really want to replicate that kind of feeling of rust, you want to use multiple colors anyways. And just like that blue impacted that red really quickly, this yellow is actually the lightest color on the spectrum besides white. Um, so if I were to put a little bit of yellow in that, it wouldn't do anything, hardly. So I'm going to look ruin my yellow by putting white in there. You guys will get to see everything that you shouldn't do today. So I'm going to put some yellow here first, separate from the red. Maybe. And I don't even know why my hands are trash today because it's not even raining outside. The science of color is so interesting because we all assume that everyone else sees colors the way that we do, but this is the science of color. And I'm sorry, y'all. I am a nerd. Like I am legitimately a nerd. So I just love facts. So if this bores you, I apologize. But when we look at a color, what's happening is the spectrum of light is hitting like this pigment, and this pigment is canceling out every other color except for yellow. So it's like it's filtering it out and it's hitting the cones and the rods in our eyes. And so when I look at this, I see this color yellow, but you can look at this and it can look completely different for you because it's not like color is something that exists in and of itself. It's actually our perception of the pigment that makes it the color that it is. I just think it's so interesting. And when we say yellow, like the number of the shades of yellow, I think they said there's probably like 3 billion different colors actually in the spectrum. It's some insane number. And so we have names for colors, but that's just like the family. It's not really the color. So you know how you can have a green yellow, you can have kind of a pinky yellow, light yellow, dark yellow, yellow, sunshine yellow, right? So yellow isn't really a distinct color. It's just like a family of colors. And when I look at this yellow, I see it completely different than you do, potentially, depending on how our eyes are interpreting it. Okay. So I have my yellow here, and let me clean this brush because yellow is so light that it can be impacted really quickly by colors. One of the things that you can do when you're mixing colors too is if you have pigment in your brush, um, let's see, like if I look at my color wheel, do you care? Lord have mercy. Um, if you look at your color wheel, like violet is opposite from yellow. So like if I have violet or purple in my brush, just a tiny bit, and I go into my yellow, I can neutralize my yellow really quickly, like by mistake without even realizing it. So if you're mixing color, you're not even supposed to use a brush, honestly. I should be using like um, a putty knife or something, but I don't follow all the rules. I am going to use a little bit of blue just to make that a little bit darker. And so I'm able to mix a color, right? That's very close to the color that I wanted to use. So when you like, if you can learn how to mix your own colors, you guys, it just empowers you so much in your creativity. Because you know how sometimes you have a vision in your mind and maybe you settle for a color because it's what you had. And you can also shift your color. So like if you're using chalk style paints and you I don't know, you have a blue and it's like almost a color that you want, but not quite. If you really understand color and how it works, you can learn how to add just a little bit of pigment to be able to shift that color to be exactly what you want it to be. And it's literally just a matter of understanding um, how colors work and how they mix with each other. So I have all these crazy colors on here. So now I'm going to go back in with my black. Or I should just use some black wax, but I'm not. I'm gonna go back in with my black. And now I'm kind of dry brushing though. I'm not really, and that paint wasn't really dry yet. So I should probably do that. And I will just like, I don't know, go back and forth with my colors until I get what I want. And I am just dry brushing because I don't want to obliterate the colors that are underneath. That orange really mixed with black. Let me dry this. But I like the way that's looking already. I remember my youngest was little, although he's just a contrarian anyways. I'd be like, the sky is blue. He's like, no, it's baby blue. Okay. It's funny because this is because there's still moisture in there. Even though I'm putting heat on here, they're not even getting hot at all. So I'm gonna go in here with some more of my black. And now that my colors are dry and set, I can get more of and I'm kind of just brushing over the top and leaving those colors in the recesses of my piece. And I'm going to stop there just for the sake of our time. Because if I get started, you guys, I can be doing this forever, legitimately. But I think that's good, right? Those look like nice little crusty bits. And we're going to go over them with some wax too later, and that will help. So I'm going to leave those there. I have all this paint on my table. Making a mess. You guys came to see me make a mess today, right? And I could have also used like a texture medium with those if I really want them to be super crusty. That would have been fun. And should I go with, I might as well paint everything now. So let's pull out our gold. Let me, I'm going to trim this really quickly And it is, let me dry it first so I don't tear my paper because I really do want this to be a clean. And you see that red in the middle? I had a little piece of red on there, but the frame is going to cover it. So I didn't bother with it. But if you have something underneath your paint that you don't want there, I mean, underneath your decoupage paper that you're not going to want to show through, and you're using a really light paper, you're going to want to make that correction before you decoupage. And I'm going to show you guys, well, no, do I want to show you guys the video? I won't show you a video today because I'm actually I'm working on a new video. So I won't show you guys that one. But the Recycle Retreat is coming up, you guys. I was so excited. We had 2 more people who signed up yesterday. We do still have seats available for the retreat. It's here in Safford, Arizona, the last weekend in April. It starts on a Thursday evening with a meet and greet. Everybody gets 2 drink tickets, and we have like finger foods there for you guys. And then we're creating all day Friday, all day Saturday. We'll feed you breakfast and lunch, and all your supplies that you need for the retreat are included. You don't have to bring your apron because we even give you an apron. And yes, you get to take it home. The ladies were so sweet last year. Everybody signed each other's aprons. I just love the community that I was able to witness at last year's retreat. And you have other things that you get to take home too. You guys get a stencil and a paper that's designed specifically for the retreat, and it's not available outside of the retreat. You guys get paintbrushes in your swag bags that you guys get to take home, because I really want you guys to go home. If you're leaving inspired, I want you to have the tools to be able to create once you get home. And you have other items in your swag bag. And my swag bags are real. They're not like random stuff that you're going to want to, that you feel guilty about throwing away when you get home. And we'll be releasing a brand new product, and you guys will get one of those for free. And you guys will be the first ones to use them. But and we feed you guys good too. It's not going to be like, you know, a continental breakfast with pastries from Safeway. We have a local artisan baker who will be providing the breakfast. She made us these delicious little mini quiche last year with scones, and I think we had some um, cinnamon rolls, and she bakes it every morning too. And then, of course, some cheese and some um, fruit is available too. So it's a continental breakfast. It's like a good continental breakfast, not like, And then lunch is lunch. We have different restaurants who cater for us. We did pizza and Mexican food last year. We have a place that's literally called Fancy Pizza, but Ben makes his dough every morning. So I do love Fancy Pizza. And I'm going to see, I have a favorite Mexican food restaurant that I love, love, love. And I tried to get him to cater for me last year, and we just didn't connect. But I'm hoping that I can get him to cater our Mexican food this year. We'll see. We shall see. I feel like I have to feed you guys Mexican food if you come to Southwest to yeah. So I'm going to dry that. Excuse me. I have way too much paint on here, y'all. I'm trying not to cause any problems for myself. So I just wanted to dry that and get that done. I don't think I'm going to paint that white. It's light, it's fine. But I do want to do my gold now. And then we'll build everything together. We'll have our pieces all painted. We can build everything out. I said I was going to show you guys something. Let me do that really quickly. So I have 2 things that I want to add to my block because they were on a different part of the paper. And just because they were on a different part of the paper doesn't mean that I cannot add them, because I absolutely can, and I'm going to. So one of them was this kind of a seal here that was on a different part of the paper. I want to add that. And I also want to add this little, it's like a wax seal. And I think having this pop of red on there is going to be nice. Although I'm going to have to match this red now. So I'm probably making work for myself, but it'll be okay. Right? And I don't think the red that I have is too far off. I just need to add a little bit of blue in there. So I am literally going to take this and I'm going to decoupage it. I'm trying to make sure I don't have anything wet right here. I'm going to put my, this piece right here. And I think I'm going to wait to put this because I want to get everything on first, or at least get a good look at it and see where everything's going to fit before I decide on that one. But the thing about the tissue paper is that you cannot, I mean, it's on there, but you really can't see it, even though I layered it right over the top of that. So if you have like a big piece of paper and you're struggling because you want something to be on your project, but it's not going to fit on the project, just know that you can still add it to your project later. You just may have to cut it out and decoupage it over the top, but the option is still there. And let me, I ruined that cup. Oh. I'll just mix it on my mat. I'm going to mix it right here. Can you guys see that? You guys can see that. So I have some pigment here that I'm going to be using. And I know I'm driving you guys a little bit crazy because I'm not talking about specific brands, but I want my retailers to be able to share the video without having to worry about that. So that's why. But if you ask me in the comments, I'll absolutely tell you what brand of what I used. So this is a gold pigment, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a water-based sealer to it. And I'm essentially going to make my own gold paint. And the cool thing about doing this is you can make it as opaque as you want. Like if you wanted a really sheer gold, you would use less pigment, right? But if you wanted it to be really opaque and solid, then you would add more pigment and less of the sealer. And the cool thing about this is powder, as long as you keep it dry, it'll keep forever and you don't have to worry about it. And you just mix it when you need it. And you guys see how little bit of pigment I put there? And honestly, that was too much. I hate when I do that because that means I'm going to have to waste. Well, maybe not, because I have to paint this whole edge. So I'm going to paint this gold. I was going to do gold leaf, but I thought, nah, because then we'd be here for like 2 hours and we're already it's already 1 o'clock. Oh, Lord. And so I'm just painting this gold. And I just mixed this myself, just using the pigment and the water-based varnish. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Once I get it all on there, though, I do like to go down the whole stretch of the thing. And if I get a little gold on the front, like that doesn't bother me. I think it looks really cool when you have like little pops of gold. Sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. And handmade items are just not going to be perfect. They're not mass produced. There's an individual person who made it. And so those small imperfections are kind of proof that it was made by human hands. I'm trying to stay in the camera and also see what I'm doing. I'm on the struggle bus a little bit, but it'll be okay. This does dry really fast, and it's like self levels. So you get like what looks like a really gold finish. So I'm going to go in and paint this gold as well. Put a little bit more. And my pieces are dried, but they're not dried. So I'm trying to be careful and not squish my middle, because the top is dry, but underneath isn't. And I figured we could make an art block. I want to make a set of 3. So we'll make an art block every day for the next 3 days. And then we'll have a set. And I want them to go together. Not to be, I don't want them to match, but I want them to coordinate. I'm going to show you guys a block that I made a few years ago. I was on Pinterest looking for ideas, and I came across a picture of my block that I probably made like 5 years ago. And Etsy is using it to market the product that I use to make the block. I think that's very interesting. I'm having mixed emotions about that. My picture and my project, they're just using it. Okay. So now my medallion, my frame is gold, and I'm going to decoupage some paper in there as soon as we let that dry. And do I want the edge of my, let's do the edge of my heart since I have some gold paint left. When you're designing something, whether it's a piece or a room, when you repeat a design element over and over again, it really helps it feel more cohesive. And even if it's something that's less obvious, like if you're working in a space and maybe you have circles on your rug, if you can figure out different ways to bring circles to other part of your space, even if they don't look anything like the circles on your rug, it can really beautify your space. So, oh man, I should have did the red first, huh? Let's, I'll leave that brush there because this red is too dark. I don't want that dark, but I don't want this bright either. So something in between. This blue is killing me because all it takes is a little tiny bit and it just wrecks everything. Ugh, see what happened? I think that's good. A project like this, like if I were by myself, I would totally lose track of time. Although I'm doing a pretty good job of losing track of time now, but and starting off with that base of that dark red is really going to go far to help me get to the color I want really quickly. If I would have tried going over like a white with this really bright red, I'd have been here painting for forever. That's a pretty red, right? Okay, so I think all my components are done. I have a little bit of red inside of my heart here on my frame that I'm gonna have to clean up because if I don't, we're gonna see it. So let me do that really, really quickly. Oh, I was going to show you guys. Look at this. So I'm scrolling on Pinterest last night and like this is legitimately a block that I made. I use this paper. It looks like I don't even know. At least it's more than 5 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and that's actually three that I made to go with that. And that was the old wings mold from IOD, and they're just using it. They're using my picture, y'all. They didn't ask me, just using my stuff without my permission. So I am gonna take a little bit, a wee bit of this white to just clean this up because that'll show through my decoupage paper if I don't. And I'm gonna have to touch up this frame, but we can do that. And I know that Monday we usually do like our cleanup day where we like finish up projects, but I'm gonna have new recycled decoupage paper to play with. So I don't know if I wanted to do that or if we wanted to create with the new paper. I got paint everywhere, y'all. So let me dry that. We're going to decoupage our paper into that, and then we're going to start assembling everything. It's 111. I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it. I'm going to dry this. It's still cool on the back because it's still wet. It's not wet. There's still just moisture in that clay. But you guys see I'm still able to use it because the top is dry. And I'm going to go in with this paper. Look, I cut my nail, so I can't use it. I'm going to use my nail and go around. And I want a pretty accurate measurement for this one because the clay is still kind of damp. I don't want to have to use a razor blade to trim this. I'm going to try to be pretty accurate when I cut this one. And you see how you can see the circle there where I scored it? So I know exactly where to cut. And I'm going to cut right on the line because I know this paper is going to stretch a little bit when it gets wet. And I really want it to fit in here kind of perfectly. So if I cut outside the line, I'll end up with a little bit of extra paper. And if you guys are looking for recycled decoupage paper, you guys can find it at roycycle.com. I realized that Facebook has like a shop button on my page. It takes you to my old website, and I cannot find where to fix that. So I got to try to figure that out today. So if you come to my page and you push that shop button, I don't know why it takes you. Well, I haven't changed it, is why, but I don't know where to go to change it. So I'm going to try to figure that out today. But if you're looking for the paper or the retailers who carry it, you can find it at recycled.com. This is a little bitty tiny piece. Oh, I cut it too small. Dag nabbit. Just a little bit though. I can probably fix that with a little bit of paint. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. And even when it's not fine, it's fine. Okay, so you guys see where I cut it a little bit of short there? I'm going to cheat and just go in with some, where is a line brush? I know I have a round brush in here somewhere. I'm going to go in with some gold. We're going to cheat. No one will ever know. I just don't want any of that bright white showing. Okay. So now is assembly time. Let me put all these brushes away and we will put everything together. Now, I saw someone put a comment earlier that I had my wings upside down. So I'm going to look at them and make sure that they're not upside down. I wish I had. It's okay. So we have our backdrop and we have our gold around the edges, right? I think this is going to be so pretty. Why does it seem like, there we go. So the small part goes on the top. Is that what you guys were saying? Oh man, I missed the whole side right there. You guys let me do that? Let's fix that before we get that tacked down. Tip, make sure you look at your stuff from different angles when you're painting to make sure you have full coverage. Even when you're painting furniture, um, I've had pieces where I'm painting and I'm like, oh, it's done. No, you look at it from a different angle and it's not done. I did a better job on this one, but we still have some white parts. That's no bueno. And I'm kind of just dry brushing it because I don't want to get it too wet because I'm ready to tack everything down. And I was going to do some fine line crackle, but we're not going to have time for that. So no fine line crackle today. Okay. So my wings go that way. Is that what you guys are saying? I feel like they should go this way, but I guess not because this is on the back of the bird. So we have our wings. My plaque goes on the bottom. I feel like my plaque needs some metallic. So I'm just hitting like the high points of it with the metallic. I got a little white right there. So I'll just cover it up with the gold. Should I put some metallic on the wings, you guys? Yeah, I'm thinking I want mine facing, well, that's interesting. No, it can't go that way. I'm thinking this way. Okay, so I'm going to glue that there. This is going to go here at the top. You guys see, I don't think I'm going to add that red. I think that red is going to cause things to be off kilter. And I don't mind that my wings are going to hang off of my block a little bit. I actually think that's going to be kind of cool. And then this is going to go right over the top of that. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's super pretty, right? And I do feel like the script adds something extra. So it's not there just because I want a decoupage. It actually adds something to this and makes it feel romantic. So I'm going to use Type Bond Quick and Thick is the glue that I like to use with my molds. I like Type Bond because it like adheres right away. I can still reposition if I want to, but sometimes when I use glue, my stuff is like sliding all over the place for like an eternity, and I don't like that. I want it to stay where I put it. And when I'm smearing my glue, I'm not going all the way to the edge because I don't want a bunch of glue oozing out when I push my piece down. And I'm gonna have to make a decision here. Because once I touch it, it's down. I mean, I guess I can move it a little bit, but I don't want to have like glue everywhere. I'm thinking it might be easier to glue this down before I glue it. I got a little carried away with my gold paint. What do you guys think? And last night when I let my pieces when they were drying, I did stack my heart on there and I laid like a couple of molds on top of everything so they wouldn't curl up while they dried. See what I mean? Like it's already sticking. My shed is so cold, you guys, that like, and I'll be honest with you, I generally prefer resin, but it's been so cold, my resin is not acting right. So I used air dry clay for my bits. Okay. And someone's probably asking, Royce, what are you going to do with that? Well, I'll tell you. One of the things that I like to do in my house is I don't do like full on holiday decor. Well, maybe Christmas, but you guys know the other holidays. What I'll do is I'll just take elements and I'll add them to my gallery wall. Um, and so this set would be something that I would put on my gallery wall in my living room. Something that I could change out, right? Is that straight? That's pretty straight. And we have one more piece. I go to my grandson's school to pick him up, and I have on my sweatpants with paint on them. Just pitiful. But everybody here knows what I do. They know. And that is it. What do you guys think? I think that's super cute, right? Um, and it to me, like it's Valentine's, but it's not like I don't know. I could leave this up all the time if I wanted, or I could just use it for Valentine's because really the only thing screaming Valentine is the heart that's on there. So we're gonna make two more blocks, and they're all gonna go together, but they're not gonna match necessarily. Um, and I hope you guys will join me for the rest of this. I really did want to use some fine line crackle on the bottom piece, but I think we're okay. What do you guys think? I think we're okay. And the edges are finished, right? Because we used the gold on there. And that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so fun. Like, I don't know if you guys, I kind of zoned out a little bit. I'm sorry, but I was having fun this morning. Again, we used the recycled romantic project blocks, decoupage paper today, and we used molds and I don't know, and paint. Like we really didn't use that many supplies. And then the size of this is a 4x7, this little wooden block. And I did find this on Amazon. I love working on these because they can support the weight when you're putting extra heavy stuff on there. And I could still stamp something right here, maybe love or agape. I don't know. something like that. But that's all I have today. I hope you guys enjoyed our session this morning. Make sure you guys come back and join me tomorrow. I will be back at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to come back, we have 2 more blocks to create. So we'll be creating another one tomorrow. You guys, when you come and you guys see me doing stuff and I don't know what I'm doing, some people probably thinking they're not going to watch me because I don't know what I'm doing, but I will tell you that experimenting is how we learn and it's how we grow creatively. So I would like to encourage you to play, to experiment and see what happens. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes your unexpected result is exactly what you needed. You just never know until you push the boundaries of your processes and your supplies. So, where experimentation goes, creativity follows. You guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. And Lord willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.